in the coal fields of southern West Virginia. It was a very violent time because there was, as the unions tried to unionize in that part of the state, there was a lot of resistance. They were squashed a lot, and I don't know what was going on with union stuff up here, but I'm sure Ohio has seen its share of union struggles as well. So the state police in West Virginia were formed specifically to be a tool of the coal operators to make sure that miners didn't unionize. And so the state was against them, and the police force, the governor, and there was the coal companies. There was a thing called the Paint Creek Massacre. The coal companies had this armored locomotive that they would use to terrorize miners. They would ride this train into these tent camps and fire their machine guns from this armored locomotive, just to always kind of exert their influence and let the miners know who was in charge. So anytime there was some kind of uprising, it was called the Bull Moose Special would show up. And I mean, it's just like out of some, crazy movie or something, but it was very real. So there's a series of events. There was a thing called the Paint Creek Massacre. And then, have you ever seen the movie Mate One? Have you guys ever seen that? Yeah, it's a John Sayles movie. It's a really great movie. It's really well done. And there was a thing in Mate One, there was a sheriff, his name was Sid Hatfield, and he was distantly related to the Hatfields and McCoys, but he stood up to the companies. There was the Baldwin Felts Detective Agency, which were like the Pinkerton agents, if you ever heard of those guys. I mean, they were just guns for hire, basically, and the coal companies hired them. There was a sheriff in Logan called Don Chafin, who at one point had 1,000 deputies employed, and their sole job was to keep union efforts out. So it was a very violent history. But Sid Hatfield stood up. If a miner died, the widow and the family got tossed out of the house, because I don't know if the companies up here owned all the housing, but the companies owned everything. And you shopped at the company store with script that you got, it was coal company money. I mean, it was this whole system of intended to keep the money away from miners and keep them kind of in debt to the coal company. So the Baldwin Felts had come down to Matewan to evict a lot of miners' families from miners who had been killed, and Sid Hatfield wasn't going to have anything to do with it. And so there was this big shootout. And then after this shootout, he was going to the next county to stand his trial, and the remaining brothers from the Baldwin Felts agency gunned him down on the courthouse. I mean, it's crazy history. And then they were going to march to Logan and hang Don Chafin. That was their goal. And so this was about a 10-year period. So it's kind of a complicated song, but there's a lot of stuff in there. If you're a student of labor history, there's a lot of stuff to go read. So this song was written kind of from the perspective of just getting ready to go do what we had to do. And what's not present in it is the women's perspective, because they were very instrumental in this fight as well. And I've been trying to figure out that song. So it's not in this one. So it's not that I'm not thinking about it. It's just not in this particular song. Get up, boys, the time's come to go. Kiss your wife and children before we part. How it all will end, no one can know. And if we die, it'll be with the Union in our hearts. Keep that Paint Creek image in your head. The train of death that rolled through camp that night. How the air was filled with burning lead. How Cisco never lived to see the light. Get up, boys, the time's come to go. Kiss your wife and children before we part. How it all will end, no one can know. And if we die, it'll be with the Union in our hearts. Don't forget the way the Baldwin Felts tossed those miners out way down on Tug. How Sid Hatfield with 2 guns in his belt stood up to the company and their thugs. Get up, boys, the time's come to go. Kiss your wife and children before we part. How it all will end, no one can know. And if we die, it'll be with the Union in our hearts. How Sid went down to Welch to stand his trial, walking to the courthouse with his wife. The Baldwin Felts drew their guns and opened fire. A hail of bullets took away his life. Get up, boys, the time has come to go. Kiss your wife and children before we part. How it all will end, no one can know. And if we die, it'll be with the Union in our hearts. When we cross old Blair, we'll have to meet Chafin and his band of deputies. Our march on Logan will not be near complete till we swing him from a sour apple tree. Get up, boys, the time's come to go. Kiss your wife and children before we part. How it all will end, no one can know. And if we die, it'll be with the Union in our hearts. Thank you. You guys remember the Monkees?